morning, good morning. We're a lively bunch this morning. How's everybody doing? Yes. Wow. All right. We got just about a full house here. Yeah, we got a couple more chairs. Oh, I see. I think there's one here. Oh, that's occupied. Okay. Oh, Bridget, do you not have a chair, hon? Here. There's one there. Oh, you got it? Is it without arms? Okay. She's got to be right in the front now, right? Right in the front. All right. Okay, so how are we all doing? Good. Are we ready for what's coming? We are not ready for what's coming. It's going to come whether we like it or not. That's right. All right. Well, I wanted to check in a couple things. Can everybody just check, make sure your phones and watches are shut off? Please. If I didn't say please, I meant to say please. And then the other thing I wanted to ask, for those who were here last week, we did some really complex movements for the shoulders and the arms, and I'm just checking in to see how that landed for you guys. Did everybody feel okay? You had some pain in the shoulder. Yeah. Okay. So a little too much on that. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. And you're taking care of that now, right? Okay. All right. Anybody else have some pain afterwards? Yeah. Okay. Lasted for a while? You have bad shoulders. I'm sorry. Naughty. They're naughty shoulders. Okay. All right. So, we're going to do something a little bit different today. And again, I like to change things up. I like to change things up so that we're not doing the same thing all the time. We need one more chair, do we? Is there one back there? I'm going to let you find that. Okay. All right. Let me regroup here for a second. Why don't you close your eyes? How about we start there? Close your eyes and just notice your breath. So as you inhale and exhale, feel the air moving in and out of your body. When you breathe in, let your belly and your rib cage relax and expand, and when you breathe out, feel your belly and your rib cage contract. So I'll say that again. As you breathe in, your belly and your rib cage expand. And when you breathe out, your belly and your rib cage contract. And slow your breath down. Let it take a little bit longer to breathe in, a little bit longer to breathe out. As you inhale, fill your belly and your rib cage. And as you exhale, let your belly and your rib cage contract. As you continue this breathing, you can either keep your eyes closed or you can open them, but we're going to start to move the arms. So on the inhalation, the arms are going to come up, and it's going to take the whole inhalation to bring the arms up and the whole exhalation to bring the arms out and down. And you're moving at your own pace because you're breathing in a way that's different from me and from everybody else. So our arms are not working in the same way necessarily. You just want to make sure you take the whole inhalation to bring the arms up and the whole exhalation to bring the arms down. And the next time that you bring your arms up, so on the inhalation, you're going to hold your arms up there, but keep breathing. So we've got the arms all the way up overhead. Again, you can open your eyes if you'd like. We're going to reach the fingers up and lift your shoulders up toward your ears. So lift your shoulders up toward your ears. Keep the arms straight and reach out through the fingers. And now keeping the arms straight, we're going to bring the shoulders down away from the ears. Okay? So we're going to do that movement a few times. So lifting, and if you've only got one arm that's able to go up overhead, you would just do it with one arm, okay? So we're lifting up, 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 shoulders up to ears, and then shoulders down away from the ears, but the arms stay straight. So we're lifting and coming back down. And one more time, lift, 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 and come back down, and we're going to hold. Now tighten up the muscles here in your arms, in the forearm and the upper arm, and bring your arms out into a V. So we're reaching out into a V. This was like way up here, and now we're out here. So we're reaching out through the fingers, and we're lengthening the arms, and pull your shoulder blades together. Okay, so pull the shoulder blades together. Relax your neck and your jaw. If you've got a shoulder that's not feeling very comfortable with this, if it's painful, you're just going to bring that arm down and keep the other one up. And then we're going to bring the arms right out to shoulder height and a little bit lower. So your palms are a little bit lower, and we're just going to turn the palms one way and then the other way. Right? That's all. We're just turning one way and then the other way. We're breathing in and breathing out. If this is too much with the arms up here, you can bring them down here. That works too. So we're just trying to twist and untwist. Getting some shoulder work here. Great. The next time your palms are up toward the ceiling, you're going to pause there, and then we're just going to do some taps, right? And as you tap out, reach out through your fingers. So make this a really active movement, really slow extend and reach. And slow extend and reach. Good. Couple more. Excellent. Next time your hands are on your shoulders, you're going to hold here. Okay, relax the shoulder tops down away from the ears, and then bring your hands out, or your arms out rather, so you're like in a cactus position, and we're just going to go forward and up and forward and up. So again, a little bit of rotation in the shoulder joint. Nice deep breaths. Excellent. Next time your arms are up, you're going to hold here and then take your elbows right in close to your rib cage. So you're tucking your elbows into your rib cage, and we're just going to cross in front and then go out as wide as you can, but keeping the elbows tucked into the rib cage. Okay? So each time you cross in front of you, do the opposite hand on top. So do once the right hand is on top, and then the next time the left hand is on the top. And as you come out, I want you to really test that range, right? So how far out can you go? How far out can you go? Okay, one more time. All right, and then when your arms are out, all we're going to do here is bring the arms out a little bit here. So we're not really straightening the arms. We've got a little bend in the arms, and we're holding, and we're breathing. And relax your neck and relax your jaw. Come back to your breath. So the way the air moves in and out. Nice slow breath in, nice slow breath out. And imagine you're holding 3 pounds in each hand. So you're holding this weight now, right? So you've got this weight in your right hand, this weight in your left hand. Do you feel some tension creeping up into your arms and shoulders? Just by thinking you've got 3 pounds. That's all. We're just thinking it, right? And you've already got some tension creeping up into your hands and shoulders. So what happens if you drop that down to 1 pound in each hand? Does that feel different, right? So breathe in, breathe out. It's just 1 pound in each hand. That's pretty easy. It's a can of soup. Breathing in, breathing out. And now imagine you could hold 5 pounds in each hand. So again, we're just imagining, right? We're not really holding 5 pounds, but we're imagining. And does that change something? You need to tighten the muscles in your arms a little bit more if you're holding a heavier weight. You need to exert those muscles a little bit more. Take another nice deep breath in. And as you let out your breath, let your arms come right down to your sides. Let them hang down. So they're just going to hang down. They're nice and heavy now, right? And we're just going to bring one ear to one shoulder, and then the other ear to the other shoulder. And just go back and forth a couple of times here. So we're stretching out after holding the arms the way we were holding the arms. We're just stretching it out a little bit here. Good. And the next time you come to center, pause here for a moment and then bring your chin down to your chest. And then lift your chin up toward the ceiling. So nice slow movement. The chin comes down toward the chest. And then up toward the ceiling. Just a couple more of these. And really emphasize the chin to the chest more than the chin to the ceiling. Next time your chin is on your chest, you're going to just hold here and breathe. Relax your arms and your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Take one more nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your head back to center. Good. Let's roll those shoulders a couple of times. Maybe turn your head a little from side to side or move it in a way that feels good. Notice if your shoulders are a little crunchy this morning. Oh, crunchy shoulders. And then go the other way. This is a great thing to do first thing in the morning after you've been sleeping for a while. The neck and shoulders can get a little tight. All right. Good. And then relax all of that. Excellent. Okay. Let's do this. Let's take we're going to work the hands and the feet together today, so kind of get a 2-for-1. So if you get your feet in a position where you can have your heels on the floor and the front of your foot lifted. So don't straighten your legs. You're going to have a bend in your knees, right? So you don't want to be way out here. Just have a nice bend in your knees, but enough that you can lift the toes up a little bit. So it takes a little effort. If I'm out here, I don't have to exert any effort to keep my toes lifted because they'll stay there naturally. If I'm here, if I relax my shins, my toes will come down to the floor. So I want to hold it in this position here. Okay. Hands a little lower than your shoulders. All we're going to do are fists and starfish. And that's with the hands and the feet. Right? So you're looking down. You got your hands and your feet. Everybody's doing the same thing, right? Breathing in, breathing out. Excellent. It's just the toes squeezing, right? Just those toes. All right. And the next time you're in a starfish, let's hold here. So we're going to keep the starfish on the right. So the right hand and the right foot are in a starfish. Left hand and left foot, we're going to make a fist. Right? Or I'm going to stop saying right. I'm going to say correct. Correct? Okay. So right side is starfish, left side is fist. And we're just going to switch. So right is fist and left is starfish. And we're going back and forth. So if you have your hands kind of in front of your knees a little bit, you can look down. You can see the hands and the feet at the same time, right? And you're noticing that the hand and the foot on the right are doing the same thing, and the hand and the foot on the left are doing the same thing. Correct? Yep. Excellent. And you're breathing. And can you go a little faster? Yeah. Good, good, good. Excellent. Okay, and then just relax that. Shake out your hands a little bit. You might tap your feet a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do something a little different here. So we know that this all works, right? Okay, because we just did that. So that all works. So let's see if it works when we change our minds about it a little bit. So let's do this. Let's take the right hand and we're going to make a starfish. And the left foot is going to be a starfish. And the left hand is going to be a fist, and the right foot is going to be a fist. Okay? I'm going to walk you through this very slowly. Don't worry. So when you look down, on the right side, you should see a starfish hand and a fist foot. On the left side, you should see a fist hand and a starfish foot. Everybody got that? Okay, you ready? No? Yes? I saw some people go no. What do I need to clarify? We're not moving, we're just holding, right? Everybody's okay? All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand, cross it, your right arm, cross it over your left. Okay? Okay? So now when you look down, the hand and the foot that are on the right, and not your right hand, but the hand and foot that are on the right, they're doing the same thing, right? They're in a fist. On the left side, they're in a starfish, right? So you're looking at your own body. I confused you? Okay. Should I start over again? All right. Follow through on this. We'll do it again. So on the right side, we've got our left arm over on the right. Yes? We've got our right arm over on the left. Okay? The right hand is a starfish. Left hand is a fist. You're crossing over. Okay? Your right foot is a fist. Your left foot is a starfish. So when you look down, your right hand and foot, look down at your own right hand and foot. They're a fist. When you look down on your left side, your hand and foot are a starfish. Correct. Okay, ready? Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing that we just did. So now you're going to switch. So the starfishes become fists, and the fists become starfish. Right? So when you're looking down, your hand and your foot are doing the same thing when you're looking at it. Is that correct? All right. And if the answer is no, that's all right too. But if the answer is yes, that they're doing the same thing, what I want you to do is uncross your arms. And then look, and you'll notice that your hand and your foot on the same side are doing the opposite thing. Okay, relax that. Okay. Who got that? Okay. I saw a lot of people. So it can be a little bit confusing. The problem is not the problem, sorry. The issue is not with the muscles and the tissue in your hands and feet, right? Because we did that, right? We did it on the same side, everything worked. It was when we crossed it over and we had the brain have to look at it a different way. So we're going to try that again, okay? Because sometimes twice through helps a little bit. So we've got the heels on the ground and we've got the toes off the front of the foot off the floor. We've got the hands kind of down there. Everybody's in a starfish. How's that? We're starting off in a starfish. Let's make the right hand a fist and the left foot a fist. Okay? So when you look down, your right hand and your right foot are in different shapes, right? And when you look down on the left, same thing. Your left hand and your left foot are in different shapes. Now cross your arms. Doesn't matter if you cross right over left or left over right. When you look down, the hand on the right and the foot on the right are doing the same thing. The hand on the left and the foot on the left are doing the same thing. We got that? Okay. So now we're just going to switch from a starfish to a fist and a starfish to a fist, or a fist to a starfish, whatever you like. And we're just going back and forth. So as you're looking down, you're seeing the hand and the foot that are on the same side, they're doing the same thing. So it's a little trick for the brain, right? And you're breathing. I love the concentration. And if you're getting this and it's feeling like you got this, keep doing the switches as you uncross your hand or your arms. And when you look down, magically, the hand and the foot on the same side are doing different things. Without the cross. Gets confusing, yeah. So shake that all out. Just different ways of looking at the same thing, right? So we're doing the same movement. It's just a way to fire or to wire your brain and your body a little bit differently, right? So the things that we are very comfortable doing, the things we don't have to think about doing, like do you think about how to get the fork to your mouth? Not usually. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Probably a bad example, right? Yeah. Just think about the things you do in your daily life and you don't have to give it a whole lot of thought, right? It's because the neural connection, meaning the connection from your brain to whatever body part it is, it's like you're driving on the highway, right? When you're driving on the highway, you put it on cruise control, you're going along, it's straight. There's nothing impeding you, right? When you're doing a new movement or you're doing a similar movement in a different way, you're driving on a cart path. You're looking for the potholes and the tree stumps and the critters and all kinds of things, and you have to really be paying attention. But the more you drive that cart path, the more worn that path gets, the easier it is to drive. It becomes, instead of a cart path, it becomes a back road. And then after a while, it becomes a main road. And then after a while, maybe it will become a highway if you do it long enough like that. So just something to think about. All right, let's do a little bit more with the hands and feet so we can get a little more connection here. So if you've got your feet on the floor and your hands resting on your lap, like one hand on one knee or leg and the other on the other. So now we're just going to lift and lower all the digits, right? So when I say digits, I mean toes, fingers, thumbs, right? So that's all of them. So it's 20 up and 20 down, unless you got more or less. And then it's, how about I just say it's 20-ish, right? So 20-ish. And it's just the toes. It's not the whole forefoot, okay? And it's just your fingers, not your whole hand. Okay, pretty good. All right, let's relax everything now. So all the digits are down. We're just going to raise the thumbs and the big toes. And we're going to lift and lower. So we're lifting and lowering just thumbs and big toes. Good, and you're breathing in and breathing out. We talked last week about a way to do this. If your big toes are kind of going toward your little toes, you could put a rubber band between the big toes as you lift and lower. That's a way to get them kind of in alignment as you're doing that. Okay, and then everybody's down, and now we're going to lift just the fingers and the toes. And when the little toes, not the great toe, just the smaller ones, right? Well, all toes are great, but I mean your big toe. So we're lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. It's just fingers and toes. Big toes are staying down. Good. Okay. Easy enough. Relax all of that. Great. So let's see if we can lift the thumb on the right side and the little toes on the left side. Don't worry, we're going to stay with this pattern. So that left hand can relax, your right foot can relax. We're just working the right hand and the left foot now. So you're just going to tap your right thumb and your left little toes and lift. Tap and lift. And I want you to go as fast as you can. And breathe as you're doing it. Right? So it's the right thumb and all the little toes on the left. All the little toes on the left. Lifting and lowering. Good. Great concentration. Okay, relax that. Take a breath. Okay, let's try the same thing on the other side. We're going to lift the left thumb and all the little toes on the right. So the right hand is relaxed, left foot is relaxed. We're just working those opposites. So we're just going to tap and lift and tap and lift. And notice as you're doing this, is that relaxed right hand trying to get in on the action? Yeah. Maybe the relaxed left foot is trying to get in on the action too. Yeah, because this is what we're driving a cart path right now, you guys. This is not something we do every day. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. And then relax all of that. Let's take a couple of breaths. Close your eyes. Notice your toes, notice your fingers, notice how they kind of work together. Let's take another breath in and out. And let your eyes open. Okay. So come up onto your heels again. Right? So you get the little bend in the knees. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to tap the toes. Well, let's tap the big toe. So we're going to take the right foot, tap the big toe, and then go back to your heel. Left, so you lift and tap. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. And breathe as you're doing this, right? So if you find your body leaning from side to side, give a little more of a bend to your knee so that you're not shifting the weight so much on your cheeks. Good, we got that? So we're just tapping one big toe and then the other big toe, and we're breathing in and breathing out. All right. Heels come back to the floor. Actually, let your feet come down to the floor. Pretty simple, yeah? Okay. Next step. We're just going to take the hands. So we're just going to tap the right hand to the knee and the left hand to the knee. Right and left. Right and left. And breathe. Right? Nice. Easy. Tap left, then right. Same thing. Okay. Got that? Great. Relax that. Come back up on your heels. Okay. Now you're going to tap your right big toe, and you're going to tap your right hand, you're going to tap your left hand to your right knee. So you're going to tap your right big toe and your left hand to your right knee. Got it? Okay. Let's do that a couple times on that same side. Got it? Great. Okay. Now we're going to tap the left big toe, and we're going to tap the right hand to the left knee. Okay? So we'll do that a few times. Got that? Yeah, a little harder. The roads you can see where this is going. Yes, you can. Okay. And then we'll come back to kind of that easy position. Okay, so now we're going to do both of those movements. Again, y'all, we're doing it a little at a time, and y'all could see how that's kind of progressing. We're going to tap the right big toe, and we're going to tap the left hand to the knee, and then we're going to switch and go to the other side, okay? So whenever you're ready, we're just going to tap and tap and tap and tap and breathe. Good. Good. Okay, and go a little faster. Excellent. Yes, yes. Keep the heels on the floor and the toes lifted now, right? So we don't want to put the foot on the floor. Good. Couple more. Great. All right, and then we can call it quits for that. All right. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Notice what's happening in your brain right now. So we just did a lot of brain gymnastics, right? So it's like I feel like there's a little hamster on a wheel up there going, what in the heck did we just do? Okay. Let your eyes open, and we're going to switch gears a little bit. So we've done some foot stuff, we've done some ankle stuff, we've done some toe stuff. We're going to work a bit on the knees and a little bit on strengthening the knees. And the way we strengthen the knees primarily, especially when we're doing seated kinds of work, is by straightening the leg. Because your quadriceps muscles, you all know where your quadriceps muscles are. They're right up here in the front of your thigh. Those quadriceps muscles come down. They go over your kneecap, and they insert into your lower leg. That's why you ever go to the doctor and they do the little hammer thing, and yeah, that they're testing your reflex. They're testing the patellar tendon reflex. Your kneecap is called your patella, right? So they're testing that reflex to make sure you've got good nerve conduction in there. Now the interesting thing is, do you all know you're not born with kneecaps? Do you all know that? You didn't know that? Yes. So you're not born with kneecaps per se. You're born with like little gel discs in there. And as you grow, as you come to standing, as you crawl around on the floor, right, you're kind of banging those little discs on the floor, and then you come to a standing position, the stress on that disc, on that fibrous disc, it turns it into bone, turns it into a harder bone. And that's where you get your power in straightening your leg, is because of the kneecap. Without a kneecap, you could straighten your leg, but you don't have any power in doing that. So isn't that interesting, right? So I have to admit, I heard this somebody in the last class, and I'm so stealing this, but I'm going to fess up to you guys here. She said, does that mean my kneecaps are younger than the rest of me? Love that. So if you want to do like a brain twister for somebody, ask them the question, what bone in your body is younger than the rest of you? They won't guess that unless they've attended this class. Okay, so the way we strengthen that kneecap, again, is to strengthen the muscles in this leg. So we're going to do some leg strengthening work. And again, we do it in many different ways if you're standing, but when you're seated, this is the best way to do it. So we're just going to straighten the leg and bring the toes toward the shin. And then we're just going to bend and bring that down. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're just going to kind of get used to this a little bit, right? So we're just straightening and holding. And when you straighten, I want you to really focus on these quadriceps muscles. Make them as firm as they can be. Right? Got that? If you put your hands, just rest your hands on your thigh, you should feel when you straighten your leg, you should feel the muscles in your leg get nice and strong. Okay, next time we're on the right. So let's everybody get on the right, and we're going to hold this. And we're going to breathe, because this is really going to help to strengthen those quadriceps muscles there, right? So as you're holding, just kind of run your hand a little bit above your kneecap. You'll feel like so you feel your kneecap, and then you should feel like a very slight indentation here. That's the more tendinous part, and then it comes into a little bit more of a muscular part here. So we're still holding the leg. If your back is starting to, you're losing your form here with your back, you can bring your hands to the sides of your chair and kind of support your back a little, or you can lower your leg a little bit. Keep your knees straight though. Good. We're going to keep breathing, and we're going to point and flex the foot. Okay. So we're pointing and flexing the foot to distract us from the incredible work that thigh is doing, right? Is it working? Good. All right. And then let's circle around. Circle, circle. Nice. And circle the other way. And keep breathing. And then toes come right up toward the shin, and see if you can lift that leg a little higher. Oh, yeah. That's where it's at, right? Let's take 2 more breaths as we hold, just 2. There's 1. And 2. And keep the leg straight as you lower the heel down to the floor. So you got that leg nice and straight, and you're lowering the heel to the floor. And you're going to take both hands to your left thigh. And then we're going to lean forward. See if you can slide your hand, your right hand, down your right leg. Reach toward your ankle. If you can get to your ankle, see if you can grab your big toe. Good. And breathe. So we're stretching the back of the leg a little bit here. Next inhalation, come all the way up. Okay, we're going to take that right leg. We're going to bend the knee and slide the foot under the chair. I want you to hold on to your chair now, because I don't want you to fall off your chair. So you slide that foot as far under the chair as you can and lean back a little bit. Got it? Yeah, you feel that nice stretch? Nice. So we worked the muscles in the quadriceps or the front of the thigh, and now we're stretching those muscles. And the farther back you lean, the more you're going to feel that stretch. And then take that foot, slide it back out. Whew. Take your hands to your lap, close your eyes, take a breath in and out. All right. Let's switch over to that other side. So let's take that left leg now. We've done a lot of bend and extend, so we're going to bend and extend just once or twice. Oop, got a nice little snap there. And then we're going to extend and we're going to hold. So again, if this is a little too much, your back is saying, yeah, that's a little hard on me, you know. We're really focusing on the muscles here in the thigh, so it's okay to support your back. That's what I'm trying to say in a not so eloquent way. And then we're holding here, and we can feel the muscles here, right? Nice and strong. Good. And we're going to point and flex that foot. Point and flex. So when you're straightening your leg like this, some of the back of your leg is getting a stretch. So some of you might feel a bit of a stretch in the back of the leg, and that's okay, but we're really focusing on what's happening here in that thigh. And then circle around. Circle, circle. That's a nice little snap for the ankle. And we're distracting all the burning in the thigh with the ankle circles, and circle the other way. Good. Keep breathing. Okay, and then toes reach up toward the shin. Squeeze those muscles really strong. Make them really, really strong, like the muscles are trying to hug the bone. They're trying to squeeze the bone, right? And see if you can lift that foot, that leg a little higher. There we go. Yep, we're getting right to the end, right? It's a 150-pound leg you got going on there. Good. One more breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower that leg down. Keep it straight, keep it straight. Keep the heel on the floor. Bring both hands to your right thigh. And then we're just going to come forward. And as you do, you can take your left hand down, slide it to your knee, your shin, your ankle, or your big toe. All right, so you want to keep that big toe, keep all the toes lifted. Not just the big toe, but all the toes lifted. And as you're here, the farther forward you stretch, can you create a little arch in your back as you do that? And by arch, I mean bringing your chin up a little bit, bringing your shoulder blades together. Good. You'll feel more of a stretch through the back of that leg, and then slowly come all the way up. Ooh, excellent. Okay, bend that knee, slide it underneath. Hold on to your chair. As you hold on to your chair, just slide that foot under, and then lean back in your chair a little bit. And again, we'll feel a little bit more of a stretch. Don't let your chin come up though. I want you to keep your chin kind of tucked in because I don't want to collapse into the back of the neck. Good. One more breath. Looks good, you guys. And then come forward. Great. Bring your feet to the floor. Hands on your thighs. Take a couple of breaths. So we're just kind of noticing. All right, let your eyes open. Let's do this. Let's take the feet a little wider than the hips. And we're just going to do a little side-to-side movement with the knees. So we're bringing the knees over to the right and then to the left. And you'll want to hold on to your chair here because as we go from side to side, your bum is going to walk itself forward on the chair because that's just the nature of this. So you're really twisting. So you're trying to get that opposite cheek up. And let's really exaggerate this. Next time we're at the right, I'm going to have you hold here. Twist up onto the left toes, lift your heel, twist that knee down, and push your left hip forward. So can you get your bum off the chair on the left, your left cheek, get it up off the chair, and then go to the other side, same thing. So we're twisting and we're trying to get that cheek up off the chair. And we're going to the opposite side. Good. Okay. All right, next time you've twisted in one direction, so let's all hang out on the right. So let's all get to the right whenever you get there. So we got everything going to the right. We're pushing this left knee down toward the floor and we're kind of pivoting, so we're rotating that hip in. I want you to turn and look out over your left shoulder. Ooh, so that's a nice twist all the way up from the toes to the nose. One more breath. Good. And then come back. Very nice. Let's go the other side. So again, we're kind of pivoting here, right? And you can turn and look out over your right shoulder. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of the opposite way of what we think, right? We're like, oh no, we should keep going in that same direction. Take a couple more breaths. And then come back to center. Excellent. All right. Let's take that. Move your body over to the right. So the right side of your hip is kind of hanging off the chair a little bit. And we're going to open the feet and the legs. So you've got, from your belly's perspective, you've got a 90 degrees between your right and your left knee. We're going to take that right leg, extend it out, have your heel on the floor, and lift your toes. Okay, so we got the heel on the floor. Can you see over there? So we're lifting up the toes. I know, why am I back so far today? All right, so here we are. Take your left hand and bring it, no, don't do that. Sorry, I got confused. Take your right hand, bring it to your left leg. That's where we're going. And then you're going to take your left hand and slide it up to the back of the chair on the left side. And you're just going to give a really gentle twist to the left. At the same time, you're keeping this leg active. So the toes are lifted, the muscles are nice and strong. In other words, you're not letting the leg do this. We're keeping that leg nice and active, and we're just kind of looking out to the left. Good. And then unwind from that. Great. You're going to bend your right knee, bring your heel or your ankle so it's directly under your knee, but you still got that nice wide position here. And we're going to be using the right arm coming down onto the thigh to provide a little bit of support. And we're going to move in and out of this, okay? But before we do that, I want you to take your left hand and bring it to your left shoulder. And you're going to bring that shoulder back, okay? So left hand is on the shoulder, and you're just pulling that back. The reason you're doing that is because when you lean to the right, I don't want you to lean like this. I want you to lean like this, right? So we're coming over and back. Okay, nice and slow. Over and back. So we can make this a little more challenging. When we go over, we can lift that left elbow. Ooh, I feel a nice stretch through that left side. If that works and you want more, I'll do it the next time because my body says slow, please. Nothing fast, please. And then up, right? So that gives me even more of a stretch through that left side. Each time I come back, I'm just going to bring the hand to the shoulder. And if I want even more, I can go out past the arm. Past the head, sorry. Arm goes past the head. Okay? How about two more in whatever way feels okay for you? I'm going to go back to the overhead because that feels good for me. And last one. Great. Excellent. Okay, let's scoot that leg back to the center. Get your bum on the center of the chair. Put your hands on your lap. Close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths in and out. I want you to notice, does your left side and your right side, do they feel different? Does your right side feel taller? That's weird. Isn't that weird? That's interesting. So let your eyes open. So just kind of opening up a little bit of space in the body changes your perception, right? So we're doing a movement that your body can do, and then your brain has to recalibrate. Your brain is always communicating with your body about where you are in space. That's something called proprioception. It's like I know where I am. I'm sitting in this chair. I know I'm sitting and I'm not standing. So proprioceptors in my body tell my brain right now that I'm standing. And proprioceptors in my body tell my brain right now that I'm sitting, so I know where I am. And so it's a very finely calibrated communication channel that when we do certain movements over and over again, remember I was saying we get really good at it, the brain just kind of knows how to do this, and it says, oh yeah, I only need to go this far to do that movement, this far to do that movement. So when I take a movement farther, and I do it a few times, and I stretch the joints and I stretch the tissue, now the brain has a different perception of where I am in space. So something feels longer or taller or bigger or broader or wider. So it's really kind of a cool thing. All right, let's scoot over to the left side because we've got to balance this out. Let's take that left leg, go out to about 90 degrees. So if your belly is like the center of that angle, that's where we want to be. And then we're going to extend that left leg, have your toes lifted up off the floor. What this does is it helps to create a bit of a stretch through that leg and a stretch not just for the back of the leg but for the inner thigh as well. And I didn't say this on the other side. I'm sorry about that. If you're not feeling a stretch here on the inner part of your thigh, you can walk your leg back a little bit more. If that stretch on the inner thigh is like yowza, and you want a little less, walk it forward a little bit more. So it's 90-ish degrees here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take that left hand, place it on the outside of your right leg, take your right hand, find the back of your chair on the right, and with this left leg engaged, meaning the muscles are nice and strong here, the toes stay lifted, we're just going to do a really gentle twist to the right. Nothing that creates any kind of pain in your back, any kind of pain in your shoulder or your hip. So if you're not twisting very far, if just having your hand there is enough of a twist for you, that's where you want to be here. So we're just breathing in, breathing out. Great. And then let's bring the head back to center. Unwind that. And we're going to bring that foot to the floor so your ankle is directly underneath your knee. Okay? So with your ankle under your knee, we're going to do the same thing on this side that we did on the other side, which is first to open up this right shoulder. So I want to keep that shoulder back. And then I'm going to come down onto my left forearm or elbow. And I can push off, right? So I'm using the elbow to support my body weight here. So I'm going to come over a few times, kind of warm things up a little bit. Again, I like slow. My body likes slow. Get into this slowly as opposed to jumping right in. And then if I want a little more, okay, I'm going to lift my elbow. Oh, and I feel that through the side of the waist. Maybe I feel that up into the side of the ribs. And then if that feels okay and I want to explore, can I go a little bit more, get a little more stretch? I can take that arm up. Yep. I'm going to do that a few times. If you're ready to go with the arm all the way over, go for it. You know, whatever is working for you this morning, right? So I might try a little bit of this, and my body might say, yeah, that's good, or no, I don't really like that. I'm going to go back here. Good. Excellent. How about just 2 more times? Great. Last time. Excellent. And then we can bring that foot back in. Come back to the center. Close your eyes for a moment. Let's take a breath and notice, hopefully the right side and left side feel like they're the same height. They feel a little more similar. Deep breath in. You can let that out with a sigh. All right. You can let your eyes open. So we're going to take everything that we've done with the joints, the movement, and we're going to combine that, but we're going to do it in a step-by-step way. So I'm going to have you turn to the left. And when you turn to the left, I want you to have your whole left leg, the whole back of your left leg is on the chair. In other words, you're not up here with the back of the leg hanging off the chair. You want to be all the way on the chair with that leg, all the way. Yep. And then this right leg is just sort of hanging off a little bit. So the reason your right leg is hanging off is because we're going to go forward and back, a little slide. You guys have done this before with me. So hold on to the back of the chair, and we're going to extend your right leg with your heel on the floor and your toes lifted. Okay? So the back of your left leg is on the chair. Your right leg is extended with the heel and the toe lifted. I'm sorry, with the toe lifted and the heel down. And then you're just going to take that leg and you're going to slide it back and then slide it forward. Okay? That's it. We're just sliding back and sliding forward. So each time you slide your right leg back, see if you can go back a little farther. So we're working a little more of the hip joint. We're working a little more of the quadriceps muscles. Where are your quadriceps muscles, you guys? On the thigh, front of the thigh, right. Yep. And we're just going forward and back. Yeah. Okay, next time you come back with that foot, I'm going to have you hold here and come back as far as you can and straighten your knee as much as you can. Now, for some people, this is their straight knee. That's fine. Other people are going to get their leg out there a little bit more, whatever you can do, okay? Take a couple of breaths. And now we're going to take the right arm and raise it up overhead, okay? And now bend your elbow and reach up over your head like you're trying to grab your left arm. So it's up overhead, not in front of your face. If your arm is in front of your face, I want you to bring the arm up overhead and then come back. So if you're not sure what I mean, it's like this. So I'm going up and over like that, right? I'm like trying to grab that other arm. Yours may be flat. Other people, their foot might not even be touching the floor. So yeah, yep. Okay, so next time you're over there, you're going to hold and breathe. Good. And then come all the way up. Let that arm come down. Good. We're going to take that right leg now and relax it forward until your heel comes right under your hip. So if you look down, your heel and your hip are kind of together. Okay. And now we're just going to take this leg and we're going to go out to the side with an internal rotation at the hip. What I mean by that is when I extend this leg out, I'm staying up on my toes, my knee is down toward the floor, and I'm rotating. I'm like trying to rotate the hip this way, not like this, like this. Ready? So we're just extending that leg out, and this is a little harder. So when you extend the leg out, I want you to feel it right in there. Yeah? Good. Excellent. How about one more time, you guys? We can do it. Great. And then bring that leg in. Scoot all the way over to the other side. So same thing, we're going to have the whole back of the right leg this time on the chair. So right up to your knee. So for some people, that right foot will be flat on the floor. For other people whose legs are maybe a little bit shorter, that foot might not be on the floor. Maybe you can touch your toes. Maybe the foot's hanging out in space. You're going to hold on to the back of your chair. Now your left cheek is hanging off so that you can go forward with that left leg, heel on the floor, toes lifted, and then back all the way. Right? So we're just going forward and back, nice and slow. Each time you come back, see if you can get that leg extended out behind you a little bit more. Right? So we're stretching the quadriceps and we're stretching the hip flexors. And interestingly enough, one of your quadriceps muscles actually is kind of a hip flexor. That won't be on the test though, so I'm not going to give it all to you. Next time your leg is out behind you, you're going to hold there and breathe. Good. So straighten the leg as best you can. And we're going to take that left arm, reach it up overhead. Good, good, good. And then a little elbow bend and kind of reach up and over your head like you could touch your right arm. So not in front of your face. If your arm is in front of your face, I want you to bring your arm up overhead instead. And then come out of that. We're just going to go in and out of that a couple of times, and then we're going to hold it. So we're just kind of lifting up and over. It's this feeling of up and over, stretching through the hip a little bit more. Last time, we're going to hold up there. So hold, 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 and breathe. Nice deep breaths. You'll feel the tight spots. Good. And then come all the way. Excellent job. Relax that arm. And now you're going to relax the leg until the heel comes right under the hip. So I'm kind of looking down and my heel is under my hip. We got one more movement here, you guys. We're going to take that leg, extend it out. We're rotating the hip in, or rotating the thigh in, and then come back. So once again, the knee is pushing down toward the floor. You're up on your toes, and your heel is kind of rotating out away from. Good. Excellent. Couple more. We don't get a lot of this internal rotation at the hip on a regular basis. How about one more time? Good. And then come back. All right. And then you can turn back to center. So just kind of take a moment and feel. We did a bit of internal rotation for the hips today, just to give us that balance. External rotation. So when I say external rotation, I mean this is your leg is rotating outward. So that's an external rotation at your hip. This is very familiar and comfortable for people because when we sit, that's what happens naturally. Think about driving a car, right? After you've been driving for a while, you might bend one knee and have the knee relax. So we're used to that. We are not used to this kind of rotation. So if you can sit at some point, like during your day, just sit with, even if it's just one leg, Right, just sit in that internal rotation can be really helpful for just kind of counterbalancing that a little bit. Unless you are um, a skater. Anybody a speed skater in here? No? Yeah. Speed skaters have really good internal rotation because of how they have to push off, right? So they have really good internal rotation. So if you're not a speed skater, I would recommend doing this. Just saying. Okay, so relax your body. If you want to sit and use the back of the chair for support, you can do that. You're going to close your eyes. We're just going to go back to the breath for a few minutes here. Oh, settle in and just kind of feel everything from head to toe, right? So we started with breathing and movement, that combination of moving the arms and the breath, and we did some really fun things for the feet and the hands together, and we got the brain involved there. That's always fun and humbling and interesting. And then we did some work for the quadriceps muscles and getting those muscles stronger so that our kneecaps, our patellas, are in good shape. We did some work for the hips for sure. We did that internal and external rotation. We did some stretching for the inner thigh and the back of the thigh. So all of these discrete places that we moved and stretched, they all work together. They're all kind of tied together through the connective tissue of our bodies. And our connective tissue is pretty much everything that's not bone. That includes skin and blood vessels and nerves and muscles, tendons. As you're inhaling and exhaling, feel your body expand and contract. Can you let your breath get a little longer and slower? And can you notice as you're breathing where you might be holding a little extra tension that you can consciously let go of? Maybe it's in your hands or your arms, your feet or your legs. Maybe it's in your jaw, your shoulders. Next time you take a deep breath in, I'm going to ask you to hold that breath and keep holding. And let it out with a sigh. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in and hold it. And keep holding. And let it out with a sigh. And whenever you're ready, last time, take a nice deep breath in and hold it. And let it out with a sigh. Go back to your natural breath. Inhaling and exhaling. You can open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you everybody for being here. Squeezing in nice and warm today. So I have your weekly joke. Oh, are you ready? It's kind of a thing now, I think, huh? We're doing a weekly joke. Okay. So you ready? Why are skeletons so calm? Why are skeletons so... She got it. They don't let anything get under their skin. Good one. Good. Love it. Have a great week. I'll have a new joke for you next week.